So 6:43 on the second, and then when I looked at it, it was 2, 3, 4, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but still, I've been seeing lots of that counting numbers. Um, and yesterday, I didn't even realize yesterday was Thursday. It's like, oh my God, today's already Friday. So crazy how these holidays really put things even more out of whack than they were before, because everything's out of whack. But anyways, so last night, yesterday, I had seen a thing. One of the Schumann residents. My algorithm on TikTok is so crazy right now, and it's just like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like gone a different direction, but it keeps showing me things that is definitely bringing stuff up. But I saw one about the Schumann resonance, and she was saying that it was, and I don't know where these people come up with this. Oh, this is energy of cleansing. This is energy of blah, 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 whatever. But last night, it definitely felt energetic. Everything felt high energy. And I keep seeing, I swear to God, I keep on thinking I'll be able to remember this guy's name. Gorepki, something. I don't know. I've gotten so many of his videos. This character, this Atlas character. But the thing is he's always spitting truth. He's laying down the facts, and so many people don't know the truth and think that stuff seems absurd. But he's really putting a lot of stuff out there that's truth. All the videos I see of his. And then but last night when I went to bed, the energy was so intense. I kept trying and trying to go to sleep several times, and I just lay there and lay there and lay there and lay there. It was the same thing with this high energy. Like, it feels like I'm on caffeine or speed or something. And so I couldn't relax, couldn't go to sleep. And finally, whatever, I don't even know when, because I know I was still up like at 10:30 or something, look at my phone. And so at some point, finally I went to sleep, and then had the craziest dreams. And then now when I'm getting woke up from these crazy dreams, I keep wondering, yeah, is the dog smelling my cortisol? Or am I stressing in these dreams and they can smell my stress? And so they're coming and getting on top of me and stuff. I don't know. I know that the dreams don't seem like I mean, to me, it's more obvious. Like, I'm going to places or situations to learn or play something out or understand something from a different perspective. Last night there were crazy ones, and I can't remember them at all. But I could get flashes of them, I guess, during the daytime, because that happens sometimes. I can't remember them. Then all of a sudden I go to flash. I'll be like, oh yeah, I dreamt that last night. But but definitely I have this intense feeling of anxiousness or something, of this anxious feeling or anxiety or something, which I don't have any reason to feel anxious or have anxiety. So I do think it's something on the planet. And I don't know if it's like part of the collective consciousness, or if it's the energy coming in, or if it's the sensing of what's to come. I don't know. But the silver stuff is getting crazier and crazier. Who knew that, how they can draw some of this stuff out, how it drags? But it is, I think, so, we can see more clearly. So even if people aren't paying attention right now, when they question things, the information's there. So you have to go back and look at the information that you missed when things start going down. But so the silver thing's going crazy, and they're saying, if you've got it, hold on to it. Do not, no matter what they're doing. Oh my gosh, where'd my tissue go? This fucking nose running. I had to take Benadryl again today. This ear is so much pressure in it. It's like being on an airplane or something. I've taken Benadryl a couple days, but it just keeps having so much pressure. But so if you have silver, hold it. No matter this, it's gonna go way up from here. Put it in my pocket. It's so weird. I swear to God, I said, hold on. I knew I said it here. It's dogs. Always messing around, I swear to God. So Yesterday, I swear to God, we literally were just sleeping, but it's not like, I'm just going and sleeping for hours or something, and then I can't sleep at night. No, it's like they'll be conked out, and then I'll be sitting there doing stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, I think I'll just shut my eyes for a while too," and then they'll wake me up. So, but yesterday was quite the lounging, just sleep and watch movies and don't do anything. Which today probably will be too, because it was supposed to be snowing yesterday, today, and tomorrow, but it just kept being rain, and it was saying that it was sleet, and we were under some weather warning condition thing or something. So, so it's supposed to be shitty again for the next couple days, and I just am not. I just don't want to go out in it. I'm just cold, and I feel so like hibernation, very, very much like just want to hibernate. I just want to go and chill and not do anything. But then dogs get so much, especially Ruthie. The other dogs, they don't seem to mind. It's like I swear to God, they'll sleep all day and all night, and then which gives me a break. But Ruthie, she has got energy on top of energy. The more she's like a Prius, the more she does, the more it builds her energy. She just keeps going and going and going. So anyways, but I'm having this total weird feeling again today, so no telling what's going on with that. And then but there's a lot of stuff happening because of the silver thing. So, well, I mean, more than that, there's a lot going on. And some people are starting to catch on, and they're starting to have these aha moments like, oh, this is what's happening. And so I'm seeing more and more videos trying to share and talk about what's going on. But so there's a guy, I think he calls himself the Asian guy. I keep feeling like there's hair in my eyes, hair in my mouth. And it probably is. And he's given whole freaking explaining all this stuff. That's why I said, like, there's going to be, there's a lot of information out there. But there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to look at it until what goes down goes down. And then there's all this information out there for you to go and look at, because definitely is going slow. So, and people are really expecting, I guess, Chase. So there, if you have any money in certain banks, that you definitely want to move it or close it, because they are in a huge struggle right now. And I don't even understand all this economic lingo and all the stuff that they talk about, but it's how they're set up in this system. So JP just had to have a 31 billion bailout, but it's not going to hold because the stuff just keeps going and they've got nothing to hold. And so that would really, probably crash the stuff if everybody ran to there and said, hey, give me mine. We probably get it a little go faster. But so many people are just, probably already planning Valentine's Day. So I just saw a video of a guy who was watching Monday Night Football, and his team, whatever was going on, but his wife said, "Can you just turn that game off?" He lost his mind and went and and then her daughter lived and is telling what he did. And then he did himself in, I guess. It's like, oh my God, man. The people are losing their fucking minds. Football is going to drive you to fucking kill? Like, give me, God dang, man. So, and remember I had said about my nails. So I've been on the other biotin for like a week. I would say about a week, maybe less. And already, see, I'm telling you, that's how I monitor it on my nails. And then I had my hair pulled up because I have to pull it up when I put all the oil on my face because it sticks to it. And there's so much hairs. There's so much little hairs up there. And some are getting much longer. So I am having lots of new growth. But I'm doing so many things, I can't tell you just like, oh, it's this. But definitely, I think I'm going to stay on this one biotin, even though I have to take so many pills. But when I look at it, the more expensive one's $25 a bottle, and it is 25,000 units per pill, and you're supposed to take 2 pills, so you're supposed to take 50. But my nails weren't growing, and that's why I kept being like, I don't know about this one. I don't know, what it's doing, but my nails aren't growing. And so then this one, just watch and see. They'll start growing longer really quick. But then they still aren't super, super strong. So they'll break, especially once they get to a certain length. But yeah, that's in a week. They've grown so much. So, anyways, but that's the $10 bottle, and it's 10,000 units per pill. And I've been taking 40,000 units, which I could even go up to 50, because that other one, it was prescribed as 50 per day. So anyways, maybe we'll step it up and see, what goes down with my nails. But that's my monitoring system. Which yesterday I was looking at my tooth, and I was so sure that something was stuck in there, and I kept trying to get it out, but nothing was stuck in there that I could tell. But it definitely seems like it's growing, even though there's a real darkness in there. It still seems like it's growing. One thing about my tooth too is I used to sleep and grip my jaw really bad. I even had to get one of those things that was in your mouth when you were sleeping, and then I chewed right through it. And then they want me to put this bigger, thicker one in, and I tried to wear it, but it was like, it bothered my jaw. And so, leave him alone. But my tooth having these issues has trained my mind not to grip my jaw while I'm sleeping, because it hurts. Please stop it, Ruthie. Go lay down. Oh, Jesus. She's got to harass me. See, everybody's asleep. She wants to harass somebody. Stop. You're not getting on top of me. Just knock it off. And she just doesn't take no for an answer. This morning, how did I get woke up? Her just jumping on top of me. And she's fat. She's not really fat, but she's, big and beefy. And she jumps right on top of you. It was like, leave her alone too. Nobody wants you in their face. Oh, she just doesn't stop. So, and Stella's because yesterday she was bugging Stella, and I was down there giving Stella a kiss, and so that got Ruthie like, I want to kiss too. And so Stella jerked her head and just went right smack into my nose. Oh my God, I had a total meltdown to try and get them to see, like, you gotta be more careful. Like, you guys are gonna hurt me with this shit. And so, hold on, this pillow is bugging me. This pillow so that I can lean back more on my back, but then it was under me. So, anyways, I'm all over the place because I'm gonna go back on the silver. But the the tooth, the nails. Oh my gosh, see, this is what goes. But she just comes right back. She run. It's like a game. And it's a distracting game. So I swear to God, whenever something is really distracting me, I feel like it's being done on purpose. So anyways, not necessarily by them, but it's easier for something or someone, some energy, some entity or something to harass them or prickle with them in order to get to me. And right now, I swear, I was just thinking of all the stuff I'm putting in her food now, because I got her back on the black seed oil and oregano oil pills. But man, because she was just lifted her leg, and then that smell is such a particular smell. And the thing that makes me nervous is because that's what happened with Winston, and it was C. That smell was so horrible. And I remember how bad the C smells when I was a nurse, because I started out on as a nurse tech on the the seafloor. And oh my god, the smell of that stuff is it's eating people up. It's so eating everything up, eating people, eating animals, eating so anyways, so the intense energy, not being able to sleep, the weird dreams, the dog behaviors. It's just sitting right here on my fucking leg. Would you scoot over and pressed up against this thing? So the right in Stella's face. Because Stella's on one leg and she's on the other leg. So the anyways, let's just go back to the silver. So that man, see just that. And that's one thing too. Even the toilet like going out, like I'll lift the toilet to dump their water and to get more water. Every time that the toilet hits down, it's like, oh my God, it's so loud. Why is everything so loud? Just like that. She just shook her head and was like, what? I could feel the energy. It was like overpowering. It was so fucking loud, too. It's like, what in the world? Everything is so intense right now. It's crazy. And and we are so like on the edge of change. And there's like people on the debt clock, there's people on the Fed, the people all over sharing information, and so many people are, it's already started. Nassar is already here. And that one lady who talks about that stuff all the time was saying, we're supposed to start getting our RVs or whatever the fuck that is. And it's something to do with money. And that's why I think it's something to do with our financial counseling thing. But it said on the debt clock, each person is worth like almost $6 million or something, I think is the amount. It could be over 6. Maybe it was at 579 and now it's at 611 or something. And the money that, I don't remember what the category, but I think the money that they have is like 3-digit trillion. So I don't remember if it was 517 trillion, 186 billion, 325 million. It was a huge fucking number. And so that's the where people think like, well, how are they going to have money to give people money and do all these things to build up our society? Because they've got this huge stack, man, and how much they're saying everybody's worth, but they're not, like I said, they're not gonna just, I don't think, I've heard that for old people, they're gonna just pay them out right away. And, but I don't think they're just gonna turn around and give everybody $5 or $6 million because so many people would blow through it. And so it's more of being kind of more like, like my daughter, 2 kids. They were in a car wreck while I was at work with their babysitter. It was horrible. It was, it didn't end up being horrible, but when the hospital calls you and tells you your kids have been in a car wreck with the babysitter, you need to come to the hospital, and they won't tell you anything. It was the craziest drive. So when I got there, but my oldest daughter got her back broke, but it was only, it didn't go through and cause any damage like that. But they said she could still have issues as she was getting older, which I do think she probably has some back aches and stuff. But anyways, please just go lay down, you guys, come on. But anyways, so I got a lawyer, and back then, I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but $25,000 was kind of a lot back then. And and that's what the lawyer could get out of the insurance company. And it was a whole weird thing. Like, I don't remember, the lady who hit him didn't have insurance or something. I don't remember. But so, oh my gosh, this was yesterday morning too. She kept shaking her head and shaking her head. I cleaned her ears. Her ears stink too. That's why I put it back on the oregano. So the, but that's the thing too with old people, is this constant attack on their system with sickness, and their system gets depleted. And then the solution that they give, which isn't natural, is causes more issues. So anyways, she's on oregano oil for this stuff. So she has an ear infection and whatever's going on with her vagina, I don't know. So, anyways, but so they, with the settlement, so they gave like a smaller amount to my other daughter because she didn't get hurt, but they put the majority in my daughter's account, which was a trust. So she couldn't get it when she was 8, and I couldn't access it, and she couldn't get it until she was 18. Well, the day she got it, she spent it, and she was so frivolous, like. And the other daughter, we used hers to get her a car when she was to the age of getting a car. So we got her a car, and then but the other daughter, she had a bigger amount, so she had and it turned over to her when she was that age. And I think my other daughters, it wasn't held in a trust because it wasn't as much money, so we used hers to get a car. And then oh my God, can you guys please go lay down? Do we have to be on top? Both of you, please go lay down. Ruthie, go on. Gosh, she is, right up on Stella. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind. I think I've already lost it. That's the thing. I've already lost it. You're listening to the ramblings of a crazy person. So, anyways, so I kind of feel like that is more like what is with the money, because it will kind of be more in like a trust, like so that it isn't, people can become more efficient in order to access it because of the irresponsible or immature ways that we try and fill our needs. And so many people would blow through it. So that's the thing. But so that there's a whole bunch of speculation that it's already started. Just like, and today's the 2nd, but it's a Friday. And so who knows what we will find out about. Because they could hold it off for the weekend, and it could come in Monday as that Black Monday, which they call it Black Monday, because that is how it went down before when the banks crashed. So if it is that they're in the process, but it's all being done. This is the thing about our economy and the financial institution is it's a deliberate, the word came right into my mind. It's when they take buildings down, old buildings, and annihilate, that's the thing that comes into my mind, but if I don't catch it right then, but it's a deliberate takedown, like that they are purposefully taking the controllers out of their ways of being able to control. And it has a lot to do with the financial institution. And so that is going to fail. I've been saying this for years and years and years. It's going to go down, but there's already this other one set up. And so, and how it has to roll out, I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to go through, because we have to go through these certain things because it's what changes the world. And so that's why, you got to kind of rest assured or get with the flow and not get too caught up in it, because it's going to play out the way it's supposed to play out to change humanity. And so but there was a lot of stuff saying it's already going. This is the time where stuff is about to really change in the finances, which I'll be so grateful. But so, or is that, oh yeah, and on the debt clock thing, there's also, somebody was showing this imagery. They use a lot of imagery because symbols is a part of the other people's behaviors, and so they kind of shoot back with symbols. And this is a fish, the Jesus fish, with another fish inside of it with a big X across. And somebody's like, well, you know what the X means, right? And so it is, I guess, because I'm like, what does it mean? And so I don't know. I heard it means the X and the R and the, and that is our new transfer, the thing that we're going to move ours around, because we're not going to all carry around gold coins in our pockets. So you're going to have a place that holds your stash, and then you access it through this phones are supposed to give us this quantum system, and you are the one who, like, if you want to pay somebody, you just use your thing and your money goes over into theirs. And so it's supposed to all be set up on this system that's the XNR. And that's why some of these other ones, because it's kind of based off of the theory behind the coin that's a bit, but that was used, I just told you, like for dark forces were using it. So it's going down and it has too much toxic energy surrounding it. But the other, and then the other ones, I'm not sure because there's a lot of these things, these cryptos. But the only ones that are going forward are going to be asset based, and so, and then it depends on how you want to secure your money, I guess, how you want to invest, and so, that's going to be up to you. But, um, but that's the ones that are going to go forward are going to be asset based, and in the X with the R, they got asset backed by the FED. So I swear to God, why didn't you go when I opened the door? Go, hurry up. She's like, well, it's cold. I don't want to go out there when it's cold. Well, it didn't say cold. I don't want to go out there when it's raining. Well, it's rain. So, anyways, so that's why the X, or that is what the thing is that the, GOV came in and said, that's the one, we're going to use this one, and we're going to asset that one, and then we're going to use it as the system that we you trade with. So, oh my gosh, Stella, I'll clean your ears again today. The cleaning was one was so dirty, but mine keep having this pressure. It's probably something, I don't know. I know you don't feel good. Here, take some more of this. Oh God, I swear to God. You can't, I swear to God. Okay, so here. Oh my God. Here. Okay. Now, could you lay down, please, and let me do what I'm doing? I know it's all about you. All about you guys. It's all, I'm in their world. So, it's funny too. Yeah, you create a world that they take it, you get taken over by it. There's so many days where I long for the days where it was just me and Stella, but she was the one who was kept being so sad, and I kept feeling like, that, she needed pack, and she does like to have one for the most part. She likes to have dogs to boss around and run the roost, but then also, so I think she also longs for the days where it was just me and her. So, anyways, okay, so the moolah, and so things are shuffling, things are falling apart right now. That is bringing us to this, and so there's a lot more than just this lady right now saying, but this is also come in waves before. But the thing is where we see big changes is because of what's going on in the silver. And so I saw this one lady, and she must be somebody who's been talking about for a long time. Don't climb on me, no. It just doesn't stop. Because she was saying, I told you guys years ago to go get this, SILVER, and I told you, like, this was going to be the way to go, and so she did a thing that said, if you have 20 ounces, you have got more than 0.05 of the population. And so I was like, dang, I gotta quit being so like, I should have got more, because I've been kicking my ass over that lately. And so then, and she got that information, I think, from the Asian guy. Because then after that, I got one of his videos that popped up that said that. And so I was thinking, oh, she must have got that from him, because a lot of people are saying, go listen to this guy. He's doing all of this, explaining things in all these different parts. And I don't know what his name would be on. I would figure it'd probably be the same if he's on X or YouTube or wherever he's at. And I'm pretty sure it's the Asian guy. If somebody wants to know, I can find one of his videos and share it. If somebody wants to go look for his information. But so he said that right now in, I think, Japan, it's like, it's over, and because China has closed it down, and they closed it down yesterday at 100 an ounce, and they're holding ours still at like 78. And which I had seen other people saying, oh, it's 80 now, it's 85. But that is the market in other countries. I guess apparently they're holding it here. And so now it's like in Japan, they went to 130 today. So China closed it down, and they're like, we're not selling anymore. And so people were like, well, what's to stop people from buying it here and going and trading it there? Which is, I mean, there probably will be some of that, but don't bother. Like, it's going to go so much further up. And, but, you know, there's lots of people looking for quick cash. And so, you know, but people are saying that there's some kind of thing in the way of that, which I'm not really sure. That's what I said. You have to listen to these people explain it more. But something's in the way of that situation, supposedly, so that you can't buy cheap over here and then go sell it high over there. But people are like, well, why aren't they doing that? Why aren't, you know, because they're also shutting it down. And they're not the only country. I think it might have been Korea or someplace. There's a few where it's going way up. And, which that's going to be, and that's the fall of the BANKSs, because of however, they tried to influence it and hold it, but now, you know, they don't have it. And so and the big thing is it's got to be real. I mean, there's lots of people who bought into that, just buy the paper. And they'll say they'll keep it for you, but they were overselling like as usual. And so there's more. And I heard somebody say, even if every single person, I think it's the Asian guy, if every single person tried to go buy like 5 ounces or something, there wouldn't be enough in the world. And so that's what creates a good investment, is because not everybody can access it, which drives the price up. And especially when it comes to the BANKSs. And so so it's just getting started. And people are like, it's gonna, I've seen so many people now saying it's gonna be easy over 4,000 real quick. And so, but I also know that in the long run, it's going to go way up from that. But it's going to start going up and meeting up with the goal. So so there's a lot going on with that. And so that's where we can be like, okay, well, this isn't just like every other time that they've said, oh, it's here, it's here, it's here. Because there is this stuff that's truly happening that is a part of it. And so I don't know how it's going to go down, but you know, that we're close, and that could definitely be sending out a big energetic wave across the planet, you know, and all these big energetic waves, see, is what changes everything. So but it definitely is intense right now. Everything's so fucking intense. And so anyways, so that and so she said that, yeah, only a small percentage. And somebody said, well, what if I have this much? And then she said, well, then you're probably 0.01% of the people. So most people, that in her comments too, a lot of people were like, well, I have 10 ounces, I have 5 ounces, I have 15, I have 21. And so a lot of people didn't go huge, but there was definitely people who were on there like, I have 1,000 ounce, 1,000. And people were like, don't be telling people. Like, and well, I saw one guy who said he has like 34K in stock, I think, on the X, and then he has 1,000 OZs of the other. It's like, dang, man. And this Asian guy was also explaining about the wealth system and about the numbers in comparison with how many people are rich now. Like, there's a whole thing, but the yeah, everything's about to totally flip over into a new system, and so there's going to be new billionaires or new rich people. But I think that the people who are going to become rich, they're going to be a different type of personality. So, which not every single rich person is rotten. I mean, Donald, he didn't have to be bothered with any of this stuff. And so, I mean, his life, he could have gone on fine and dandy, living his life without going through all this. So, some, do feel the motivation to be human and to be helpful to the changes and what is to come in our world. And so anyways, it does seem like that the stuff is on the verge of really collapsing, which that could be because in the X-Files that it said that his little monologue was it will happen on a Friday, but the people won't know until Monday. So it will happen, it could happen today, and then we won't know anything about it through the weekend until Monday when it opens, and that's what the Black Monday is about. So we have to just see, and that's where we have to just learn to have faith, keep focusing on what it is you want. And if you don't have silver, don't get down and feel, because there's going to be all of the money that you are valued at or worth is going to be coming back to you. Things are going to be being fixed, and supposedly too that right away it's going to be big changes like on the electricity and internet and phones and stuff like that. So a lot of people are burdened, especially as the system was ending these services. It was going super inflated, and there's so many people. They were like, well, their bill was 200 or 300, and now it's 700, 1,800. And so, and a lot of these power companies are also corporate owned entities. I swear to God, I thought I heard a siren. I've not, oh, it's a snore. I haven't heard a siren in so long. So, anyways, but whatever it is, oh yeah, if you don't have any, you're still gonna be fine. Oh yeah, because the power companies and stuff are owned by these people, and they drive up the price and control it. But that is called a crime again, and it'll have more to it. And I don't know if that has to do with the RICO Act. I don't know what all, but their charges are big. And even yesterday, I saw somebody do a video just showing saying that this is the penalty to these crimes, and that's what I did on Twitter. See, and I got fucking Secret Service going on my house over it. But that stuff's out there. It's not like it's just me. It's just like, once you know what their stuff is, it's like, you did this knowing what the penalty was, so you just thought you wouldn't get caught. Well, that's, all your friends, I guess, told you, oh yeah, do it. We're all doing it. Everything's fine. But, that universe was like, just as they were tricking us, those people got tricked and going in a different direction, because now they're going to be going down for these crimes, these a lot of it, so much of this is all these corporate entities, these shell companies, these ways that these rich people create the control in our system. It's a nasty web of corporate control, and they are very purposeful in what they do. And the people who own these places, I mean, it backtrack, and you go back to certain individuals, and it even goes back to more condensed, when it leads all back to the Rock is Black, or this other one, whatever it is, Vander, something. And then, but even when that leads back to the C's and the E's and the O's, that also is, there's people who are the board, the board members. Like the CEO is an employee, right? And there's board members, the investors. And so those would be where we lead back into the rich, the Child of Roth and the Fellers of Rock and other big names that have gone through our world as being heirs, you know. And so, anyways, it's all falling apart. But that's, was part of Donald's role to go in and dismantle, demolition. That's the word, a controlled demolition. So he was doing a controlled demolition on the system, and they were taking things down, but then they were also inserting things in their place, and that's where things will flip over into the other. So it's going to fall, and it's going to be impactful, but then it's going to flip into the other. And then there's probably, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't play out in this whole thing of all these different people getting super sick right before these beds come, which would be a huge drive to people wanting to get in them. And so, in that, once you get into them, I think it's going to be like this. Not only is it going to fire your DNA up, but it's also going to be this aha moment of the technology that was suppressed, and that the world and your being is a lot different than what you've been told. And so, anyways, it probably, will kind of play out like that. Because, yeah, if it is that all this crashing and fumbling and this changeover occurs during January, and then we still have to go till April. I'm just hoping that she was accurate on the part where she said that when you go in to your appointment, that they scan you, and if you meet the criteria, then you will get access then. And because there's going to be more events, there's supposed to, like, even that Galak guy or whoever this Atlas fellow is, he says that there's going to be a whole bunch of events, but there's going to be a big event that happens that's going to really wake people up all of a sudden. I've been saying this for years, that was going to happen. So when I hear stuff like that, to me, it's like confirmation. But so this occurrence is still, and it's close by. I think that's why some of us can feel it. You can feel the intensity as we draw near to this episodic event that changes the trajectory of mankind. And that's kind of like what these other beings are riding the wave of, the energy that we're putting out to create this change. Oh, which I thought this was so interesting. So this lady, she said she was out in her garden. She's just gardening. She's got her buds in. And she said that she hears somebody say, "Hey, Diane," or something. I think that was her name. Something like, "Hey, Diane." And so she thinks someone's there. And she takes out her thing to turn and look. And she's like, nobody's there. And so I don't remember if she then said what in telepathy. And so she began a conversation through telepathy with this person. And this person said that they were watching her, and they said, "From where I am, you look just like a little light bouncing around, and I was watching you." And she said something back, and he said, "Well," she said something like, "Well, where are you? Where are you?" or something like that. And he said, "I'm just like you. I look just like the same as you. I'm just someplace else. And from your perspective, what you see is a little ball of light up bouncing around." So, see what I've been saying about the stars all this time? It's like these other beings. And somebody the other day, I was, because I was noticing this super, super bright one. And then you see ones with their coloring and moving and stuff. So the super bright one, and then it moved. And so the moon, which I have no idea where it is today, it was super cloudy. And it's dark out. And so it's not coming through But that was another thing too. Last night when I was not being able to sleep, I was like, "Oh, we're so close to the full moon," which I think that happens today or tomorrow. And of course, there's all the people who were like, because yesterday was the 111 portal, and then there's this whole oh, it's the wolf moon. They're saying this is the wolf moon, and so there's always all this stuff, and which this big celebration that I saw about Scotland in the New Year is a, I think what was a pagan tradition or something, but that Christmas was taken from them a long time ago, and so they started celebrating, and it has to do more with the solstice and different things. But anyways, they have a huge celebration, and there was tons of celebrations. And another thing too is some of these ones, they don't do these fireworks show. They do these drone shows. And it's like this light show up in the sky, and it's the coolest shit. But I have been reposting a lot of those so people could see the technology, the sophisticated technology that's out there. Because if they start coming in and, you know, making it look like we're being attacked by ships, I would be thinking, oh, this is a drone show. So it's and it looks like they create these images up in the sky. It's crazy. It's like a Etch-a-Sketch or something in the sky. So, and there was a lot of those. Like they weren't doing all these fireworks and stuff at all the places. Some of them had these drones, which would be a lot quieter. And anyways, the so yeah, oh yeah, so I was out there looking, and then the moon went over there, and then this big bright light had kind of followed, and then it had moved because it was right above my house, so it was over there when I was looking. And I don't remember where the moon was, because it seems like that was the night where the moon just kept being over there. And sometimes it'll start over here and move, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's over there, sometimes it's over here. It's all over the place. It's not just a set thing like, yeah, you can depend on that. No. And then so this big bright one went over there, and I did a video showing, you know, this bright one that was across, and somebody said, oh, that's Venus. Anyways, but I was thinking in these ideas of what we think like are these planets, that if that isn't just like what that guy's talking about, you know, where I am, you think it looks like a ball of light, but then you go into that ball of light, so then it would be like you have to travel where they want to tell you it's 300,000 light years away or whatever, but really it's through portals into through dimensional travel to get to this place. But then when you were to land, you would be in a place that was similar to this, and the people would look similar and stuff. And so that's the different realities that are out there. But when you're not there, it looks different. And some you just see these little dots and these little colors and stuff. Anyways, I thought that was interesting because that too was like a confirmation of how I see things, or what I see when I look out. And so I think, you know, the stars are not what they tell us. And there can be, you know, also these stars in the sky. But like I said before, when I was a kid, I was like, well, there used to be so many stars. And then in my head, I heard, well, they were born. And then but there can also be a part of a part of our artificial, you know, like they have to put this in the screen of the sky, so that we thought we believe their story. And but man, because I see it like this dimensional thing, like an awareness. So they put like a false sky, but some of us can see past that sky into another sky and see things that are there. And so it's so anything that is fake or false, it's like you have to buy into it. Because once you don't buy into it, you see past it, you see beyond it. You have to buy onto it. And that's one thing of the creation of how they created all these bullies and stuff, to keep us in a line, to keep us aligned into their false reality, so that we would see what the others saw. And if we saw something different, then we were crazy. But now, at this time of change, the people who were thought to be so crazy, now we have taken a stand. We're not going to sit back and say, okay, I guess we're crazy. No, we're going to say, no, you guys need to pay attention. This is not what you think it is. Things are not what you think they are. And the people who can see past have all kind of united energetically to believe in themselves, to believe in the what their truth is, and to stop being a part of the, that's not true, shut it down, shut up. And for the people who were carrying that energy, to start recognizing that they're bullies, and that they hold themselves in limiting thoughts, and that it's them who's not seeing outside the box. And then when you got to start asking yourself, why am I not seeing what other people see, is that's your journey to healing. That's for you to start understanding yourself and what is repressing you and holding you back from seeing the truth and seeing what's out there. And so that is this thing about, the awakening, is bringing you back to awareness. And because the trap is the illusion of the world that they create, and you just buying into it, believing and buying into it. And so, anyways, that's all. But see, that's what creates the change, because before, so many of us would say things, we would just be laughed at and told we were crazy and, oh, shut up, weirdo. But, and then there wasn't, the energy was stifling. It held us back. And then something happened that the energy, and I think it has to do with healing. I think a lot of the people who have gotten to the point of like, no, I'm not wrong, no, this is real, have done a lot of healing on their soul, of their identity, of not being controlled by the bullying, and feeling not overcoming like rejection, and people laughing at you, and abandoning you, and all of those things. They had to overcome those things in order to stand strong enough to be able to say, like, no, I'm not wrong, this is real, you're just not seeing it. And so that's a flipping of the energy, and that's what brings all of these different people together in this unity. It's energetic at this point. Right now in our society, a lot of the stuff that's happening, is creating a change, is happening like in the astral or in the spiritual realms, by the energetic connection, by the people who are forcing the change. And so even if you aren't seeing people, that you enter into this energetic projection of this energetic wave of change. So it's not just like these other beings from outside of this place are whispering into people's ears and getting things to change. It's also the people who are here, where that's where you could start thinking of the light workers and stuff like that, is because they're bringing the light to things, but they have to light their own in order to bring it. And that's one of the things where you can start weeding through the true spirituality and the ones that just like to claim it as a trend, because they're not really doing the work. But no shame to them, because they don't understand the work. They don't know it, and they don't understand it. And they're too caught up in the claiming of a label, instead of doing the work. But it's like they don't see the work. But that's one thing, is why so many of these spiritual people are getting their ass kicked through some of this energetic installments, because they haven't done the work yet. And so there's a lot of people who, it's funny too, because there's a lot of people out there who have been being paid to be life coaches and guidance for other people. But the people who have been paying are more awake in some sense than the people who haven't, because but it depends, because if you have somebody who doesn't recognize their own need to heal, then they're not leading the people who they have, um, who they're coaching. They're also not leading them to heal. But I think a part of the changeover has to do with those people kind of like they become aware of their soul, and then they start being led by their soul, and so they start doing things. So it's kind of like the student becoming more knowledgeable or better at something than the teacher. And so it's kind of like that's going on, but that's also a part of this flipping the energy. And it's also a part of the people who were in those roles to begin to reevaluate themselves. Like they're going to be hit hard. And there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of people. Like right now, it seems like, man, things are hitting so hard on people, and people are losing loved ones right and left. Tons of influencers are just dropping dead. Who was it yesterday? I can see his face. I know he had beef before with Jim Carrey. He was like, he was in a movie with them, and then he was like, I can almost see it. Tommy. He thought he was a buffoon or something, and he didn't want to be in a movie. Oh, I think it was a Batman movie. He didn't want to be in a movie where, I think Jim Carrey is just, being himself. And that put not Tommy Hilfiger, but put him off, probably because he's too uptight to be showing his true self. And that probably is why some actors are really good at acting, because they are so lost of identity in themselves. They're only comfortable when they're playing a character. And so in that, it's like an underdevelopment of themselves, their own being. Oh, yeah, man, I just saw, it's like there's some actors out there who, even the person who they are is like a created character, because they don't know how to, they don't even know themselves. They don't know how to be themselves. They got lost from themselves, kind of playing these characters. Or some, I think, got lost playing the characters, but I think some got lost in that's where they went to go find their identity, but it didn't feed them back what it was that to give them more identity. It just kept them in a trap of not being able to find themselves. And I don't know if Tommy Lee, not this Tommy Lee musician, man, I can see his face so perfect, but I can't think of his name. But anyways, his daughter died, and she was 34. And so a lot of these people, are just, they're dropping like flies. People's kids are dropping like flies. Like, there's a lot of stuff going. And that's not the only one. There was a few yesterday. You got people who are like in their 40s too, of just dropping. And people who are the actors, not the kid, but people who are in the entertainment industry, and they are dropping like flies. Which I wouldn't say every single person out there who is in that industry is involved in this corruption. I think a lot of them found themselves kind of sucked in to a world that they didn't know how to get out of. And I also think that some also, I think, kind of had no awareness. They just were, well, this is the way the world works. This is how it is. And that could be where some of these people seem like big sellouts. It could be that they really just don't think very in depth. They just do what they're told, and they figure, well, if I want to work, that's what I got to do. And they don't really see the spiritual implications of what they have done, but but that's part of their awakening into their own karmic debt, to their own, what they put out comes back to them. And so there's, clean up aisle 11. And so there's going to be a lot of different, there's going to be such a huge wave of all these different kinds of explanations of identity and their their the way that they were is going to be a lot of it isn't just like one thing. There's a whole bunch of different things that have to be done, that people have to make decisions over how to clean up their own mess. And which to me always it seems like just start doing good. Just start doing good, putting out good vibrations and positive things for people to flip. It's the what is that called? The alchemy of energy. Because you can't change the past. You can't go back and change it. Which, man, and when I talk about, like I've been getting my ass kicked lately. Like, I swear to God, maybe it started with that solar situation where I started being like, oh man, 250. But then and then like reevaluating myself on how I spent, like being like, why didn't I do more? Why did I stop? Why did I? And then it comes to me as, you followed what you were supposed to do. Like, you did what you're supposed to do. And even if it's, wish I would have done something different, that those have to do with your lessons. And those are what you're here. So you're following your program patterns, like you're following your own program. And so, and then there was also this person that I went out with for a short time. And they were, oh my Lord. And so I had, that has come back to me. And I even asked my sister the other day, I was almost asked her in the middle of the night when I was like, I feel like I'm having this, I almost asked her in the middle of the night, like, how did I meet this guy? Like, how did this guy come into my life? I don't remember. But he was like, like, I don't know. You can look back on a lot and be like, you regret certain relationships and stuff. But then you have to ask yourself, yeah, but why? What was it that drew me in there? Because it's something in me, and which you're going to be drawn to your lessons, and so they come in all different ways and shapes and forms. But that's the part of you that you get to reevaluate and then look at yourself and see, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And so that one has been hitting me harder and nagging. And then yesterday I started seeing like these fantastic, oh my God, some of these tattoo artists are just like fucking Da Vinci, dude. It's crazy, some of this stuff that people are getting, some of this artwork. Oh my God. And then I was just like, it was making me feel like, I don't know, you can feel inferior, you can talk your way through it, you can, all these different things, but if that was my journey to be me, that's how it would have went. So you can sit there and be like mad at yourself, but that's not what you were here to do, and but it's weird how these different things will bring stuff up in you, but then you have to process through the stuff, and it definitely is, what is meant for you will play out. If it's not meant for you, it's not going to play out that way. It's the things that you are here to do that's the doors that will open. And the things that you try to do that you can look at yourself like, well, it depends on how you compare yourself. I mean, is it a success because you tried something and you went and you did it and there was lots of people who were happy with it? Or is it that you just sit and compare yourself to others and think like how much better they're doing. I wish I could have been them. Look at that. Look at how they do that. I wish, things could have been different for me. It depends on how you feed into that energy. It depends on, that's the thing about when I say making the choice of how you live, where you put your energy, how you live your life, what the things are that you look at. But when they come up, you still have to look at them. You can't be in denial. You can't hide from them. And sometimes, those things come up and people choose to just go drink or do drugs or whatever. I think my escape is movies. I like to escape into the movies, into these dream worlds, into these other worlds. And, but, and that can be toxic too. But definitely people who just do drugs and drink and stuff like that, that they try and escape what's making them feel bad, but you can't escape it. It's still going to be there when they come back. It's always going to still be there. And so, and then you probably made more mistakes and did more things, more damage to your health or whatever. And so it's so much better just to face things head on. And even when things make you feel bad about yourself, and is to just reevaluate and then work on building yourself back up and being like, well, you're good at other things, you're good at this, you're good at that, maybe you're good at a whole bunch of things, maybe they're only good at that one thing, maybe they don't know how to do anything else, they only know how to do that, and you are good at doing a whole bunch of different things. So don't be hard on yourself, because there's things that you probably know how to do that person is like, dang, I wish I knew how to do that. Man, you're good at that. So it is, and there's lots of people who are like experts at certain things, but I'm definitely one of those general people. Like I can do a whole bunch of different things, but that's not to say like I'm perfect or great at any of them. But then there's people who don't even do them that you're going to be great to them, that they're going to be like, dang, that's good, because they can't do any of that. It's so weird how we beat ourselves down, and really when we all come together and we all have things that we're good at, we come together, then that creates like this world or this entity or this being or this planet of all these abilities. That's what humanity is going towards, is all these people having all these abilities. Then when you come together, it's like you create a whole, and the whole is able to carry its weight. It's able to do and take care of itself, and that is what we are creating, which it kind of is like this giant, this being, this thing, this entity, this new world. And so I think that even when we see people and we think like, because I see people also sewing. Some of these people are sewing. I know how to sew, but damn, man, some of these people. And I even went to school for fashion design. And then you see these people just figuring out how to make that, just cutting clothes apart, making patterns, going and creating these different things and stuff. So but it's like it's programmed into them. It's just a part of their weave. And so it's, I think that's where we got to learn to appreciate other people for their abilities and not compare ourselves and try and break people down and stuff like that, which this kind of keeps lingering, in my mind. And it was this video that Amy sent me this morning. And it's this little girl in Arizona, and there's all this outrage in Arizona. I don't know what town or whatever. And so she was 10 years old, and she escaped her home. She ran away, and she went to the police, and she said, please save me. My mom and my dad and my stepmom are beating me and torturing me and trying to kill me. And the little girl, they took her back home. And supposedly, I don't know, there's a bunch of reports by these agencies, and that they always went back and took her back and said, no, she's making it up or whatever. Well, the parents just got pulled over, and she was DEAD in the back, and they took her to the HOSP, and they tried to revive, and she was gone. And And she's just this little girl who was asking for help and asking for help, and there was nobody there to help her. And so now everybody's freaking out. And the one thing that was getting me was like, I don't know, because I don't know this stepmom's issues. I don't know her problem. The little girl was this really fair skinned, white hair, cute little girl. And the mom was more heavy, and she was dark skinned, and she had more like fro hair. And I don't know what her nationality is or whatever. And the dad, he looked like, you know, just typical, I don't know. And there was, supposedly essay involved and stuff too. And, but I was like, I don't know how many, because there was also, this happened in a daycare, and this dark person, it was a little fair-skinned, white-haired boy. It was, it's like, are some of these people taking like this reverse, or this, because it's racist. And the thing is too, is it was like, so many people, they want to be like, well, this is the body I was born in, you gotta accept me, this is who I am. But then they don't reverse that to the other people. Like, you think that little girl purposely came in as a little blonde girl to just irritate you? And so I don't know the whole dynamic, but it was just seeing the pictures, that just was like, I was just like, man, I don't know, like, no empathy. Like, what should she have had more empathy if the girl was darker skin and had different hair? Is that blonde hair and light skin a real trigger for some people who feel really insecure or feel really down on themselves? And if that's not a big trigger to them, which, everything that happens, everything that comes into your world is to trigger these things, to bring them up in you so that you can reevaluate yourself and build yourself into being more secure, not taking it out on others. And also it came to me when I was thinking about that, because it was making me feel really bad for the girl and stuff, which there's a whole movement of they're arresting these different people who are involved in this, the PBS, and all of these different things. And that's not just Arizona, that's federal. Like, there's a coming together, and we're started an initiative, and we want these people arrested. So that's, one of those things that humanity brings in this impulse of a wave to create the change and to take a stand. And let me think, what was I saying? The darker skinned, insecurity. Okay, because, but that's the thing, is a lot of people, when they get their triggers, they just react. That's reactive. So you're reacting when that trigger was placed in front of you, so it would bring you to this place of feeling that, but you would internally look at it. You would start looking at yourself, like, say I'm right on this situation. Say you are the spouse of you marry somebody, and their daughter keeps it, and then for some reason he has custody or something, and this daughter lives with you. I don't know, the mom died. I don't know this whole story. I just heard this little thing this morning about what happened. And but so you marry some guy, and then something happens, and now he has full custody of this kid, and so you have this kid around all the time, and this kid just triggers you, and so you are just reactive to the kid instead of going in and being like, oh, this comes up, and I feel so angry, over her beautiful blonde hair, and she'll have it easy in life, and things will go easy with her bright blue eyes, and I've struggled, and it's not fair, life sucks, and I hate her. And then instead of taking it and being like, wow, man, every time I look at her, it gives me this sinking feeling, this heartache in my chest. Where is this heartache coming from? What is it that I need to face, to process through this? And it's always connections to some other past lives, you know, and it can be such a variable, such a variety of things, you know, but whatever those are, they're stagnations of energy that you need to pull to the surface in order to let go of them. And that's why there's so many that happening now, because this is what we came here for. We came here to clean up our souls, to clean up our mess, to pull ourselves free out of this low vibrational um, mental trap of inferiority and division and hatefulness, and to override that system and start creating a system that's built on unity and love and community, which is happening naturally. Like I said, there's people who are all coming together energetically that don't, even if they're not connecting in the physical. But I think that we're going to see a wave of connection through, it's been building in the spiritual or in the astral or in the energetic, however you want to see, field, and these connections are coming closer, and then we're going to see this wave of this connection of these people in these weird synchronistic ways, and that is going to be a real impactful to society, to get to it's like the society at large then will start to understand more of the spiritual connection, the spiritual world, and start wanting to be more connected into that world. And then it's already got the table set for what it takes to connect, because it has to deal with unity, and you can't have unity without respecting others, and you can't have unity without loving yourself. Otherwise, you're in toxic unions and not in this unity mind, this mind, this base of unified energy. And so it is it's like it's already created, and then it's like all of a sudden these people see it. It's like they don't see it yet, but something happens to create this where all of a sudden they see it, and it's like, what? How did this happen? And people, a lot of people start saying, well, we were connected, you know, spiritually, like even some of you guys, you know, like I've said, we're connected, like synchronicity, like we're connected on this other energetic field, this other field of energy. And then in that process of this connection, we are building and rippling out. And so it's like all of us all over the place, then we are building like this crater lake, like this giant energetic lake. And then and none of them see it, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then all of a sudden they all see it, and they're like, how did you build this? How did you do this? How did you build it with this person that you hadn't known and stuff? And then and that is I'm scrolling now. And that is where we start making the big wave of change in society, is when it all plays out so naturally. That was this part of it where the people who, you know, claimed starseed and stuff, and that they started being all caught up in their egos and being like, well, I'm here to save the world, get out there and wake people up, they got to save the world and stuff like that. It's like, but we're not, that's not the role, that's not what you're supposed to do. And so and there's people who, you know, went in that direction, but that's an ego drive more direction. The more of the people who were doing the work and connecting on this other level has been creating this, it's like this new world is being created without them, other people seeing, but then all of a sudden it's like they start to see things, and then they start to question, well, how can this be? And then it's going to, and some of it will seem super obvious, but some of it will be more spectacular. It's going to be on all different levels. But that's the thing, is like when the people are just so motivated to just like, I got to get out there and save everybody. It's my job. I've got to save them all. Instead of going in and working on saving themselves. and sending out good energy into the world by being a happy person or being fulfilling themselves and bringing that energy to the planet, these different things, and then to also participate in this system of like, well, give me $1,000, $2,000 and I'll coach you through this awakening. And so that motivation, what a lot of these star seed people, whatever people claiming that title, start doing, then they haven't participated in the building of this new world. So it's definitely, it does have a lot to do with, it's like the people who seemed like odd to other people who seemed really fringe, people who seemed out there, that they were really connecting to themselves into this astral world and building into this new world, like low key, like under everybody's feet. It's weird because it is like in this micro macro and stuff, just like Donald was controlled demolition, our uh current currency, then they and then this other system was being rebuilt underneath. It's the same thing. It's like the people who are connected spiritually in this energetic realm have been rebuilding this new world under the other one collapsing. And when the other one collapses, it's going to fall into this new one that's been building. And that's where the people are going to be like, how did this happen? How are we here? How did you guys do this? And so there's going to be a lot of that. I think there's going to be a lot of that. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. I mean, we're here for it. We're here for the show. So can't miss it. And, we're part of it. So so we'll see how it all plays out. But that's what it seems like to me. That's what it looks like. And so, but, the impact, all the impact we're bringing isn't to take it into our ego that it's my job as a superior being to wake you up and set you straight. No, it's to become your truth and then to walk the walk, be on that path. And then that is the it's like the finale. That's the thing. And then the people all have to follow that format. They have to walk their walk. They have to work on themselves to get there. So that is always out of range, out of balance, where people are like, well, it's my job as the savior of humanity. Because there's so many people who think that way. They think they're here to save humanity and stuff. And that it's their job. Even that spiritual guy that I was talking about the other day, somebody sent me his video, and there was so much of that in his video. It's up to us, the starseeds, get out there and wake people up and stuff like that. It's like, we're not here to save the world. We're here to save ourselves and to show through that behavior the others is how it's done, by doing it to yourself, not going in and making them your mission, making them your job. It's you are your job, and you doing it well is what gets other people to see like, oh, I could do that. I could do that too. I want to do that. I want to feel better. I want to get better. And then and it's like it's organized already by the universe. The information will come to people. People will start to understand how to fix themselves without having to go in and pay thousands of dollars to these life coaches and these saviors, because we're not here to find a savior, and we're not here to be a savior. We're here to save ourselves. We're here to rebuild ourselves in a time of crisis and to become whole and balanced in a world that is out of balance and heavy in the dark. And when we can find our balance, it pulls the world back into balance. So that's a fucking beautiful thing, man. That's really cool. So that's what the awakening is really about. It's our own self-evolving, our own self-involvement, our own lust for our own joy, our own self. This whole thing about learning how to love yourself. And not only that, the words came out of his mouth exactly. That Galaki, whatever, the Atlas fella. Learn how to love yourself. You learn how to love everybody else and learn how to have the day you want to have. I was like, duh. I swear to God. See, I mean, this stuff, it's not just like, I'm not just making this shit up. I'm not just like sitting here and just making shit up. It is, this is real. And so that's the what everybody should be doing, but that's what, so many people aren't. So many people are caught off and caught up and distracted and in their pain and suffering. So and I think it is probably the same evaluation as the silver. Probably is 0.05% of the people who have actually been doing the work. And so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We're getting closer and closer to the big reveal. The Fat Lady's about to sing, I think. So, and who knows? I mean, it's always a good day when we don't have the country fall, under the water. Like, so, so we'll see. I feel hopeful that a lot of people more and more people start moving out of there, and like the place gets more cleared. But I still know that there's going to be, a lot of people. They're going to be leaving all at the same time, and it's just to us who are still here where it seems tragic. But we got to remember, like, no, they're good. They're good. They're doing great. They're happy as hell. So, well, I mean, some are going to go in and be really down on themselves for a while in the healing process, but that's what they're just going to be healing on that side of the wall, that side of the ice wall, and we'll be healing on this side of the ice wall. So anyways, it's all a dimensional thing. It's not like 300 million light years away. It is a dimensional drive to get there, and it's not that far. I mean, that one being was like, I can see you. I'm sitting here watching you, but you look like a little light. And but see, that's the zoom in and the zoom out. And so, and that's, I think, an ability of your soul or something. I don't know, because I can zoom in and zoom out. So you and I don't even know, like, I don't know what the hell I'm tapping into. Like, I just know that this started for me when I was 3. It's communicate, and that nobody's ever listened to me. So I always appreciate you guys for listening to me. So thanks for listening. And so anyways, we'll see what this day brings us, and I'll be here to talk about it tomorrow. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you later.